Tonight on ELN Local News.
We remember an ELN alumna. Friends and family honor Nicole Denian.
See how a group of police officers goes from fighting crime to fighting cancer.
And meet some of Alamance County's furriest fundraisers.
All that and more.
ELN Local News starts right now.
Live from the Jane and Brian Williams studio at ELN University School of Communications, you're watching ELN Local News.
Good evening, I'm Jackie Pascal.
And I'm Maya Eaglin.
We begin tonight as the ELN community grieves over the loss of a student, teammate, mentor, and friend.
Former women's soccer player Nicole Denian died Saturday at the age of 22 after battling Ewing sarcoma since her sophomore year at ELN University. A gathering of friends was held Sunday night. Hundreds of students and staff came to support each other and share fond memories of Denian.
Following the gathering, students met in Denian's honor on the soccer field. Students held candles and some were arranged on the field spelling out her initials, NKD, and her soccer number, 22. Denian's close friend Mel Inslee joined the memorial by FaceTime. We spoke with her earlier.
I've been with her a few times and she's just in so much pain, and you know she's in pain and hurting so badly, and never, she wouldn't shed a tear. She just never wanted, I don't know, I feel like it was almost like she didn't want to hurt the people around her by knowing how much pain she was in, and she could always put such a brave face to everything, and you know, it would be doing her a disservice now if we couldn't do the same for her.
Denian's family will hold a visitation Thursday from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Bordentown Home for Funerals in Bordentown, New Jersey. The funeral will be Friday morning at St. Mary's Church, also in New Jersey. A time has not been announced.
Election day is tomorrow, and both presidential candidates and their surrogates are making last-minute pitch to voters before they head to the polls. Former President Bill Clinton and Vice Presidential candidate Tim Kaine spoke in the state for Hillary Clinton earlier today. Donald Trump was at the North Carolina State Fairgrounds in Raleigh this afternoon, while Clinton will hold a midnight rally at North Carolina State University tonight. In the latest polling, Clinton and Trump are virtually tied in North Carolina. But on election night, Clinton will be at the Javits Convention Center in New York City, and Trump will be at the Hilton in Midtown Manhattan, just 1.3 miles away from each other.
If you didn't participate in early voting, you can still vote on Election Day with transportation provided by ELN. Students can vote in Alamance County from 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. at the Antioch Community Church and the First Baptist Church of ELN. A shuttle bus will run continuously from the Center for the Arts between 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. to take students to these voting locations.
And directions aren't all you need to know before you head to the polls tomorrow. Our Jasmine Hager is here in studio to talk about a law that you should be aware of before you vote. Jasmine?
Thanks, Jackie and Maya. Justin Timberlake has dodged possible jail time and a $50 fee over his ballot selfie. But the Instagram photo has called into question the legality behind taking a photo of your ballot. States such as Louisiana and North Dakota don't have laws against it. But in North Carolina, the ballot selfie is considered illegal. The law in North Carolina states, in part, voted ballots and paper and electronic records of individual voted ballots shall not be disclosed to members of the public in such a way to disclose how a particular voter voted unless a court orders otherwise. Any person who has access to an official voted ballot or record and knowingly discloses in violation of this section how an individual has voted, that ballot is guilty of a Class 1 misdemeanor. States where you can legally take a photo of your ballot include Connecticut, Maine, and Vermont. States where taking a photo of your ballot is illegal include North Carolina, Mississippi, and New Mexico. State laws in California and Iowa are unclear on the legality of taking photos of ballots. So before you snap a selfie with your ballot, make sure you check the laws in your state. Maya, back to you.
Thanks, Jasmine. While we elect a new president of the United States tomorrow night, the president of the university, Dr. Leo Lambert, sat down with our Tommy Hamsick to talk about this year's election. Lambert says he hopes the new commander-in-chief can move beyond negative rhetoric from this campaign cycle.
It feels like we've reached a place of such paralysis and polarization that it would be nice if the president-elect and the Speaker of the House, whoever those people are, could come together and say, let's think of 4 things that we could do to actually accomplish something and show the American people that government can work. That would be astounding. I don't know if it's possible that that can happen in these times, but the anger in this election disturbs me. The rhetoric disturbs me, and it scares me a little bit too.
And for more of our interview with President Lambert, tune into our live election coverage tomorrow at 8 p.m. We'll have correspondents covering national and state races, in-studio guests, and political coverage from an ELN perspective. Tune in tomorrow at 8 p.m. on Facebook Live.
Some ELN students are frustrated with a problem other campus residents take for granted. Class registration begins Thursday, and our Ashley Boley found some students who will not be registering in the comfort of their own homes.
There's an ongoing issue in the Oaks neighborhood that isn't visible.
Since the beginning of the year, the Wi-Fi has just been very spotty.
I get Wi-Fi here in the common room, but once I go into my own room, there is zero Wi-Fi.
I guess, especially because we pay so much with the, to be in Oaks 4-person singles, we expect to have some sort of amenities.
They say the Wi-Fi is non-existent or losing signal frequently at random times.
The Oaks neighborhood is an area where there's a high saturation of students.
According to Waters, with up to 600 students amongst 6 buildings, the ELN Secure Wi-Fi network can become crowded. But in September, Mackey decided to call the staff at the Technology Service Desk to see if they could fix his Wi-Fi.
They specifically contacted me saying they came into our Oaks, fixed our Wi-Fi, and that's just not the case.
Students have tried calling the Technology Service Desk.
And they told me to get an Ethernet cord, which I was a little upset about.
Kind of given up asking tech services.
Waters says when residents call, 90% of the time they can fix the wireless problems in that area.
What we're hearing from a technology perspective is sometimes folks just sort of are aware of it, but don't know what to do about it.
But Mackey is also not taking into consideration a crucial part of the problem.
We're realizing that students have way more devices than they used to.
Waters says students use on average 3.5 devices.
We have plenty of bandwidth. Our outgoing pipes, if you will, provide a ton of internet services to the university.
Waters says they are working to fix the problem by utilizing funds from residential students. He requested through the university budget to allocate funds to upgrade Wi-Fi in the neighborhood over a 3-year period.
The challenge we run into is where people are located on our network when they're trying to connect.
And the struggle continues for students or their parents' wallets.
I use LTE. I don't know what that's looking like with my phone bill. I haven't got a call from my dad yet.
The September bill was higher, and typically when I get back to school it's higher, but I definitely noticed that there was a spike in it.
But for now, residents have to adapt.
With class registration coming up this week, I will probably be doing it in the library or in another location.
And Waters has advice for students registering.
If they're living in an area and they're not able to get a resolution to where they feel 100% comfortable, there are many, many other places on campus that are not experiencing the same saturation issue.
Ashley Boley, ELN Local News.
Waters says to call the Technology Service Desk whenever there are difficulties at 336-278-5200. For more on this story, check out elonnewsnetwork.com.
Up next, is registration bringing you down? I'll give you some tips and tricks for picking your classes after the break.
And Anton Delgado will tell us whether or not to pack a raincoat for the week with the Phoenix 5-day forecast.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
That's the one. I will not be news today. I will not make another push to be the first man in space with frosted tips and a puka shell necklace. And I will not go viral when my terror is caught on camera when I finally realize that in the vacuum of space, no one can hear you sing. I'm Lance Bass, and I will not be trending today because there is a much bigger story that needs to be heard.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
We're a week into November, and that means class registration is just around the corner. This week and next week, students will register for classes for the 2017 winter term and 2017 spring semester. Our Cami Banky is in studio with tips on how you can get into the classes you want. Cami?
Thanks, Maya. Registration for winter term and spring semester starts this week. Picking classes to take can be stressful for many students, whether you're a freshman or a senior. But there are many things that can help ease the process. Make sure that you have met with your academic advisor with a plan for which classes you want to take. Be sure to check your registration time, which can be found on your OnTrack. Your registration time is determined by the number of course credits you have. If you are not sure how many credits you have, you can find your total credit hours on your transcript on OnTrack. Before you register, click on the Search and Register for Sections tab. Select the term you are registering for at the top. Then you can pick courses based on the professor, time of the week, and subject. Once you click Submit, you can check off which courses you want. When it's time to register, click Register for previously selected sections, and you should see your selected courses. Go to the side drop-down menu next to each course and select Register. Once you have all your courses, click Submit at the bottom of the screen. There are a few things to keep in mind before registration. First, be sure to log into OnTrack within 5 to 7 minutes before your registration time. Logging in too early will cause your account to time out. Press Submit as soon as the clock hits your time. If you aren't sure what classes to take, consider registering for classes that fulfill the core requirements, such as Expression, Society, Civilization, and Science. Getting those courses out of the way will allow you to take more courses in your major in the future. Finally, since you will be likely registering for both winter and spring terms, make sure that you double check that your courses match the right term. Live in the studio, I'm Cami Banky. Happy registration, Elon.
Thanks, Cami. Registration begins this Thursday at 7:30 a.m.
Over the weekend, ELN hosted Intersect's 6th Diversity Conference. The 2-day conference on diversity includes games, guest speakers, and open discussions. ELN hosted 14 different schools, including NC State, University of North Carolina, Greensboro, and East Carolina University. Students like ELN senior Stephen Armendariz says these discussions are important in understanding diversity.
Since my first year here at ELN, I've become very passionate about the concept of diversity, and I've taken various leadership roles, and I've been a part of different organizations during my time here at ELN and off campus in order to help improve and increase awareness of diversity.
Well, it was chilly out there.
It was chilly today, yeah. It was sunny, and I was hoping it was going to be very warm and nice, but it's definitely pretty cold.
Yeah. But it's starting to get really pretty with all the fall colors.
Absolutely, the cold is bringing those nice leaf changes that we all like to see.
Yep, so Anton Delgado is here to tell us more.
Thanks, guys. It was a little bit chilly today, but I promise tomorrow is going to be nice and comfortable with a high of 70 degrees and a low of 47. Wednesday, unfortunately, ELN's going to have to turn off its sprinkler since it's going to be raining with a high of 65 and a low of 40. Thursday is going to be nice and sunny with a high of 67 degrees and a low of 45. And that'll pretty much remain the same on Friday with a high of 69 and a low of 43 degrees. Make sure to stop by the ELN bookstore since it's going to be a little chilly this weekend, so buy some ELN gear since Saturday is going to be a high of 55 and a low of 30 degrees. Thanks, Jackie. Back to you.
Thanks, Anton. So not shaving for a whole month. That's what officers at the Elon Police Department are doing as a part of No Shave November, raising money each day they don't shave. Kaylee Tracy tells us where these donations are going.
I don't grow a beard very well, so it won't be that long.
But this month, James Perry, Assistant Chief of Elon Police, is going to try. Perry and the rest of the officers in Alamance County are growing out their facial hair as part of their second No Shave November to raise money for cancer.
I suggested it. I kind of talked them into it, the other chiefs, because of course they were hesitant because it's something that we've never done before, but we're raising money for cancer, so it's always a good thing.
Perry says it's a privilege for officers to grow out their facial hair. Rules say they can only have mustaches that aren't longer than their upper lips.
I think the public understands and they'll forgive the professional appearance just for a month, considering the money goes to charity.
He says female officers donate money to the cause.
Well, we don't really have an option for them. I joked around about no shave, they don't have to shave their legs, but yeah, not a lot of women take you up on that.
And with each officer donating $30 up front and $1 each day they participate, Perry says that money adds up.
We have probably about 400 law enforcement officers in Alamance County, so you times that by 30, and that's a lot of money.
Money that will pay for a vein finder for cancer patients at Cone Health Cancer Center at Alamance Regional. Nurses at the center say the piece of medical equipment will be a huge addition to their lab.
It would just really help us to just have to stick the patient one time.
Growing out their facial hair for a great cause. Kaylee Tracy, Elon Local News.
Perry says you can bring donations to any department in Alamance County.
Coming up next, find out how one Elon professor took her passion for choreography to a new level and to a new country.
And hear from one of the bands who rocked Elon's fall concert on Saturday.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Well, it looks like another busy week here at Elon. Starting with Election Night watch event tomorrow night at 7 p.m. in the Great Hall in Global Commons. Elon students, faculty, and staff are all invited to watch live coverage of the final few hours of the campaign throughout the night as we wait to hear who the next president of the United States will be.
On Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. in the Newman Lumen Pavilion, Diwali, a Hindu festival of lights and one of the happiest Hindu days of the year, will be hosted by the Truett Center. Traditional Taza Indian food will be served and all are welcome to join.
And how about some dance after this hectic election week? The Department of Performing Arts will present their fall concert this Thursday at 6 p.m. The concert features BFA dance majors performing and some original experimental work by students, guest artists, and faculty.
While there's a lot of fun happening here at Elon, our Deirdre Cronschnabel looked into one professor who had a cultural experience of her own hundreds of miles away.
Professor of dance Lynn Kurtzil-Formato returned from Denmark last month after choreographing and directing the Scandinavian production of The Hunchback of Notre Dame. The show drew from her vast experience as a director and choreographer.
There's a choir that sings, so I had to find a way to move these people in robes and create beautiful patterns on the stage that, you know, called into play Catholicism and Christianity, but also took it to a theatrical place.
Like all her professional work, the showing was a very different experience than her work in an educational setting here at Elon.
You have a little less teaching to do. It's not that much different as far as the reliability or the responsible nature or professionalism of the actor, but I would say more in the life experience. There are things that someone just has not experienced in their 20s that someone in their 30s or 40s has to bring to the table.
As well as experience, an educational production is also limited by funding and time constraints.
You know, when you work on educational theater, everyone has classes. Both the professors and the students have multiple classes that are pulling at their time and at their brain power and at their sleeping hours.
Elon's monetary resources, said Formato, are not growing comparably to the size of the program.
It's almost impossible to do what we do on the budgets that we have.
Despite these difficulties, Formato looks forward to directing and choreographing the winter term musical Cats, and then she heads back to Denmark to work on a new project. This summer, she will be remounting Hunchback at King's Theatre in Copenhagen. Deirdre Cronschnabel, Elon Local News.
If you want to check out some of Formato's work, Cats is set to premiere on February 9th in McCrary Theater.
Matt and Kim weren't the only ones who rocked the parking lot Saturday night for Sub and SJ's fall concert. Elon student band The Trips opened, playing a variety of covers including Mr. Brightside by The Killers and Closer by the Chainsmokers. The band that started 2 years ago describes their sound as, quote, "If you listen to it in middle school, we play it." Though they have played all over campus, this was their largest crowd so far. So we apologize, but we will get you guys that information online.
Members of the Burlington community came together to eat ice cream and support a local organization on Sunday. The Make a Sunday Make a Difference event gives community members the opportunity to make their own sundae and purchase handmade bowls to raise funds for Crossroads, a nonprofit sexual assault response and resource center in Burlington. Art professor Michael Sanford has been providing Crossroads with ceramic bowls made by his students at Elon. Sanford and his students have been helping Crossroads for 13 years. The 2007 Elon grad and board member, Austin Hill, believes that without the Elon students, the event wouldn't be possible.
It's just a great dialogue that we have with him and with the students, and without all of them, like, this wouldn't be possible.
After the break, catch up on all you need to know for this week Elon in sports.
And see how I caught up with some little friends making a big change.
My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Listen to me. I am captain of the track team. And if I'm late,
She doesn't really think she's going to get out of here, does she?
be nice. She's new. Hello, is anyone there? Ugh!
Wow. Even from our standards, you look awful.
Oh, sweetie, what happened? Me? My friend Becky got to talk to this super cute boy, and I tried to act like I wasn't jealous, but I so totally was. And then out of nowhere, this concrete barrier just popped up. Maybe it was a semi. You mean you were driving? Yeah. I mean, I know the whole eyes on the road thing, but this was a super important text. Maybe you have to know, Becky.
Texting? Great.
But it was only like 5 seconds, and I'm a really, really fast texter, so it wasn't even a big deal. Actually, has she texted me back yet? Wow, I get like no bars in this place. wonder if they have Wi-Fi here.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
The ELN men's soccer team season is effectively over after the Phoenix lost to William & Mary 1-0 in the CAA quarterfinals Saturday night. The Tribe's Antonio Bustamante scored the only goal of the match in the 18th minute and dominated the Phoenix offensively throughout the match, outshooting ELN 12-5. ELN did have a few chances late in the second half, as leading goal scorer Elijah Agu had a shot on the goal, but William & Mary goalkeeper Phil Brino made a key save to preserve the win for the Tribe. The Phoenix ended with the season with 5 home matches with 0 wins, 4 losses, and 1 tie. ELN still could get an at-large bid to the NCAA tournament, but it is not expected this year.
Elsewhere in athletics this weekend, the football team lost its 5th straight game Saturday, falling to Towson 23-6 in a road game. The volleyball team also lost Saturday, getting swept by the College of Charleston 3-0. Volleyball has a match at 7 p.m. tonight at UNC Wilmington, and later this week the basketball teams will start their 2016-2017 seasons. The women's team will play at Wisconsin Green Bay Friday night, while the men's team will host William Peace that night at 8 p.m. And make sure you pick up a copy of The Pendulum Wednesday to see a preview story on each of the basketball teams, as well as a look back at a 1974 USA versus USSR women's basketball game played at ELN. And dogs, food, and music. What more could you ask for? I got to experience all of this at the Humane Society of Alamance County's annual Woofstock. Check it out.
Hundreds of people came to the 18th annual Woofstock. While some came to make some new furry friends like this guy, others came to compete.
The best costume contest, we're going to enter that, and then the best trick.
Pacing, kiss. All right, so good girl. And whether they won or lost, all the dogs got some special treatment.
Everybody pays attention to him everywhere we take him. I said he's going to have a ball spot when we get home. He gets petted so much.
There was no shortage of barking, music, or resources.
There's a large need in Alamance County for dogs that aren't so lucky to have a home that's providing them with warmth and food and care. And the events today support the Humane Society, and they help make Alamance County a better place for dogs and cats that aren't wanted.
The Dog Rescue Festival left dog owners happy and the Burlington community feeling the puppy love. Jackie Pascal, ELN Local News.
That was such a fun time.
Yeah.
I can't even express how much I loved being around so many dogs this weekend.
I love dogs. Do you have a dog?
I do not have a dog. I have 2 cats, but I will say I'm not just a cat person who doesn't like dogs. I really do like dogs,
Right,
so it was very
and
fun.
such a great cause for the Humane Society. So.
Absolutely. There was a ton of resources there that people could go to. They could get some training. Some of the dogs, there was an actual safety officer who was training us on how to train your dog in the safest manner. It was really, really fun.
Awesome. And before we go, remember to tune in tomorrow night at 8 p.m. for ELN News Network Election Center. We have reporters at national and local campaigns, in-studio guests, and all you need to know on election night. You can tune in on Facebook Live. And I know I personally will be in Raleigh at the Deborah Ross campaign.
And I'll be in Winston-Salem at the Richard Burke campaign as well. So we'll be at our state elections, kind of going at it, really.
The senators that are
our senators
running against each other.
Yeah, it'll definitely be an interesting night. Definitely want to tune in for all of that election coverage. But that's all we have for you tonight.
And to stay up to date on all the news you need to know when we're off the air, check out elonnewsnetwork.com and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at ELN News Network.
From all of us here, have a great night, ELN.